Hello, I'm Jonathan Shine from the National Real Estate Investor, and we're here at the National Net Lease Investment Conference in Chicago in the offices of Jenner & Block and Mesirow Financial, our patron sponsors. And today we have one of our moderators and our sponsor, Gerald Levin, Senior Managing Director of Mesirow Financial, who just moderated the State of the Net Lease Market. And I'd like to just go back to the panel and get your reflection on what you think the audience learned this morning.
Well, I think they got a tremendous amount of information provided by the panelists who had done quite a bit of research to prepare for this and really talked about how much volume and the buoyancy that's in the single tenant space today, why or from where that buoyancy is coming from, how different it is from 2007, even though the volume numbers would cause you to think that it was the same. One of the panelists is with a very prominent private real estate investment trust, which is the new phenomena that has taken place since 2007.
Just to step back a second, you had three different disciplines on
Yes.
this panel, and maybe you just want to explain from which each one they represent. And you can the names as well.
Bill Kahani is with American Realty Capital, which is a private real estate investment trust and an investor in the single tenant space solely. Bruce Westwood Booth is a corporate advisor. He's with Jones Lang LaSalle, and most of his work is in corporate finance and advising companies as to when they're looking to do a sale-leaseback. And then Craig Tomlinson is with Stan Johnson and Company, which is a brokerage house out of Tulsa, a national brokerage house headquartered in Tulsa, and who specializes in dealing with single-tenant investors. So, and Mesirow Financial is a principal in the single-tenant space, has been investing in single-tenant properties for its own account for the last 20-some-odd years.
Okay, so as you were talking about the private real estate investment.
Yeah, to me, the biggest change is the institutionalization of the product. 20 years ago, single-tenant investing was not an industry. It wasn't necessarily accepted. And the people who are the biggest buyers of it today didn't exist. And there are now two very, very significant public REITs who own single-tenant assets. And then there's a number, ARC being one of them, of private real estate investment trusts, many of them public but not listed. And I would think that they're the second largest provider of equity to this space.
And one of the things that we've been really struggling with over the last year is certainly what's happening to cap rates as so much money is flowing into this market.
Well, cap rates are compressing as we speak. I think that what was interesting, I hope what was interesting to the people who attended is that as compared to the bubble, there's more discipline in the market today. Really good in credits, investment grade credits in major markets with long-term leases, can bid prices that weren't being higher prices that weren't being experienced in 2007, and less than investment grade tenants and secondary market properties probably are getting nowhere near what they were getting in 2007. So you have to really separate the market into the different segments, and there's some other nuances, but that's primarily, I think, what we learned.
And so what we're learning also that there has to be a lot more equity in the deal now.
Yes. The debt sources that existed in 2007 some of them are back, not much of them, and those that are similar have significantly different underwriting. Something that took 15 or 20% equity in 2007 is likely to take 35 or 40% equity today.
That's a much larger chunk than a few years ago, yeah. Obviously. So in closing, how do you see the net lease market over the next 12, 24, and 36 months?
I personally expect the next 12 to see further compression. I think beyond 12, it's going to be a function, the election probably is going to have a very big impact. Tax law changes. I think to go beyond the next 12 months would be more difficult, but I think that it's really going to be a function of whether our government really can, hold hands with each other such that, there's really legislation and a direction, right? The last period, they just
Didn't quite work out that way, did
right,
it?
not,
Well, Jerry, I just want to thank you for participating and being a sponsor at the National Net Lease Investment
Thank you.
Conference, and look forward to working with you more.
okay, it's a pleasure. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jonathan.